Something I don't hear people talking about much in NVC is how sometimes we do not have the resources to speak in the way we would like, and that sometimes it's not even possible, or perhaps not even a good idea in a given moment to retreat, which would be Marsha Rosenberg's piece of advice for people who are not able to speak in Giraffe and NVC. Sometimes we are not yet feeling like we can retreat. Sometimes getting out of the situation would feel too much like giving up, letting the other person win. Perhaps we would not be able to do it with a gentle energy, and someone might take that as a rejection, the way we do end up saying it. There are so many situations where I feel like we are having to work with limited resources, and I don't have all the answers for these situations. Of course, the number one best way of dealing with a situation when you have resources is everything that Marsha Rosenberg taught us: to empathize with the other, to take a moment to empathize with yourself, to return to empathizing with the other, to wait until they're done expressing, and then ask, is it okay if I express what's going on in me? And then you express what's going on in you. So that's the ideal, right? And the next ideal is to notice, okay, I don't have the resources, so I'm stepping out of this situation. You say, excuse me, I'm feeling very overwhelmed right now. I need some time to collect myself. Can you wait for 10 minutes and then I'll be back? Or can we talk about this tomorrow? Or can we see when we talk about this again? I'm not able to think about this right now. So that's the next best option. And then that doesn't always work. And then the third best option is, well, whatever you can make work. And I don't hear much about this in the NVC community. Whatever you can make work is with whatever amount of choice you feel you have. Because when you're triggered, you don't have choice. You're just speaking from your trigger. Whatever amount of choice you have, look for what little you can do to move towards more compassion. Maybe that looks like having more compassion for yourself. Maybe it looks like having more compassion for the other person. Maybe that looks like catching an insult and turning it into an I need statement. Maybe it looks like taking at least a little time to connect with yourself before talking. Maybe it looks like roaring wordlessly rather than using words that would disconnect people more. Maybe it looks like saying, I am so angry right now and I can't hear you. The other person says, well, I'm angry and I can't hear you. And then you say, well, I'm angry and I can't hear you. And it's not helping, but it is, relatively speaking, better than some options that you have available. And I think, what it can look like to have a little bit more compassion, a little bit more choice. That varies according to the situation, and I'm still, I guess, learning what I might advise to myself or others about this, but you can just look for what could look like more compassion, more choice. Just give yourself a pat on the back for every little bit that you do a little bit more compassionately, a little bit more constructively. celebrate it. Tell your friends, like, yesterday I really felt like telling my boss to go fuck himself, and I just told him to go screw himself. Or I really felt like telling him to go fuck himself, and I just said, I can't talk about this right now. And, even using the right NVC words, the right ones, the ones that we're taught to use, might not be connecting if you don't do it with a connecting energy. If you shout like, I'm feeling angry and I need respect, people don't usually respond well to that. They might respond well to, I'm feeling really angry right now, and I'm seeing that that's to do with my need for respect. I want to say that because I don't want to blame you. It's about my need for respect, and right now I'm really scared because I don't know how much longer I can speak in a way that's helping us. So, can we get a bit of space right now? Like, that can help. And I'm angry and I need respect doesn't help, usually. Might help more than saying fuck you, that's true. But, yeah, it's all relative. There's all degrees of more constructive, more helpful, more harmonious, or less. And I guess my last message here is just, you will always be imperfect. And there will always be these moments when things don't come out the way you want them to. Even if you manage to rigidly control every word you say and never say anything that wasn't in Marshall Rosenberg's book, you're still not necessarily working NVC magic. And sometimes maybe saying the wrong words is better in a given situation if it means coming from a lighter energy, or if it means showing a little bit more of yourself. Sometimes. I don't have any rigid formula for this, but maybe your inner wisdom can nudge you in the right direction. Just give yourself compassion, because you will fuck up. You will speak from a place which is less connecting, less harmonious. Even if you are certified as a NVC trainer, even if you're the most respected voice in the NVC community, you will mess up. And if you don't, then maybe you're being a bit less alive. What I'm saying is, there's no perfection, and it's all about being human and loving yourself in your humanness. So be imperfect and understand yourself. Understand that you are imperfect. You don't always speak the way you want to. Understand where you were coming from and the beauty in your desire, in the needs that were behind what you were trying to say. Love yourself. Yeah? I'm saying this to myself because I make some messes. And it sucks even more for me because I want to be respected as an MVC trainer, and I do feel like if I was a little bit quieter, if my emotions were a little bit more under control, people would think that I'm a good MVC trainer. But I don't think that's the direction we need to go in. Let's be human and work with what being human means right now in this stage of evolution, in this stage of history. Don't try and be enlightened. human, be real, and love yourself in the process. And it is a process.